What's up guys, Trader Neil here, back at you with another crypto video. So today I'm going to be talking about the news that Microstrategy has actually sold some Bitcoin for the first time in a long time. I'm going to be talking about my interpretation on this, what I think it means going forward, and at the same time, I'm going to be going over Bitcoin price action and a list of coins that I think you guys might be interested in. But before I do that, it would mean so much, guys, if you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and of course hit that bell icon so you don't miss any of my future videos. That would mean a lot. Alright guys, so just jumping right into it. So pretty much today the news came out that Michael Saylor sold 32 Bitcoin worth $2.5 million. So what does that mean? Obviously 32 Bitcoin, maybe to us normal folks, $2.5 million, of course, is a pretty significant amount of money, right? But to Michael Saylor, this guy who, him and MicroStrategy, buys billions of dollars of Bitcoin at once, one small transaction of 32 Bitcoin isn't a whole lot to be worried about for the short term. Of course, it makes a lot more sense that Saylor, if he was going to sell Bitcoin like he just did, is doing so with a test amount first. He's just testing out how markets are going to react whenever the news breaks that he sold Bitcoin. And of course, looking at the Bitcoin chart here, this is pretty much the price action for today. So right before market open this morning, that news came out that Saylor was selling Bitcoin, and of course Bitcoin from that point on dropped about $3,000 and 4%. I would say that is a pretty significant drop for the day. What I will also tell you guys though is from a technical analysis perspective, I've been telling people in my Discord groups that Bitcoin looks like hot garbage. Even back here, I was pretty much saying, and I think it was probably a different chart, but I was just telling him that overall, until Bitcoin reclaimed this SR box here, literally the last low, it was very and more likely to be going lower. And that's what we got here. And if you look left on Bitcoin from the middle of March, anything under about 75K led to lower prices. That's exactly where we saw rejection back in the middle of March. And so it's not surprising from a TA perspective that Bitcoin came down. I think Saylor selling was just a catalyst to make that happen at a quicker rate. And so far, I will say Bitcoin has come down, bounced perfectly off this daily level. If I go to the daily chart, you guys will see exactly what I'm talking about. See this daily close and open back here in the middle of April is where this has come from. I also had a SR level right here at 70K, pretty much right at the last high as well. Got a pretty good bounce from there. Do I think this is the overall bottom of Bitcoin is the question? No. I think this is a good place for a bounce like we're seeing. However, guys, honestly, if you were to ask me where I think Bitcoin is going to get like an overall bottom before higher, I would say we probably need to see a little bit lower. We are coming up on this demand line on Bitcoin, but I do think a better one probably looks something like this. And I do think Bitcoin is of the perspective, in my opinion, that we could easily see the golden pocket tapped here and this daily level around $68,000. I wouldn't be surprised if that ends up being the bottom for Bitcoin. One more stab to the downside. Maybe we create some 4-hour divergence there. So right now we are making a pretty good argument for oversoldness, but that's just weakness. No divergence yet. One more low into the zone, and I will start to think that that's when I will start to really like recognize that, okay, I'm starting to see some bottom signs. We have a daily order block at those highs, like I said, golden pocket there. That's where I would be essentially a lot more open to seeing Bitcoin put in a bottom around $70,000. All right. And that's Bitcoin based off of the MicroStrategy news today. If you look at MicroStrategy itself, of course, it is down. That's not a surprise, though, with Bitcoin being down. I will say MicroStrategy is not that much down compared to where I would have expected it to be. After news that Saylor's selling BTC, I think people have been really pricing that into the market, and that's why we're seeing it hold super well here. And overall, I do think that does this change my perspective on MicroStrategy is the question. Do I think that the company is like a failure? Do I think that things are cooked for Bitcoin and MicroStrategy for the upcoming cycle? No, I honestly think that to be fair, like it has been such an overhang that Michael Saylor is a big holder of BTC, and what's going to happen if he has to start selling. I think that it's actually kind of genius. I know people are calling Sailor like retarded, paper hand. I know maybe I shouldn't say the R word on here. Who knows what YouTube thinks about that for the algorithm, whatever it may be. I just personally think that the Sailor hate is kind of overblown here. In my opinion, get it out of the way. Get him selling some Bitcoin out of the way so that we don't have to just wonder what the effect of him selling Bitcoin would be in the future. If he just goes ahead and does it right now, then we can already see like, okay, it happened in the past. Did Bitcoin die? Did MicroStrategy die? No. Then things are good. And so that's the way I would put this, and that's the way that I would be looking at this situation. Now, do I think that like this is going to be like the overall bottom for Bitcoin? I think that right now, Sailor did have a test transaction for that sell. I do think he's probably going to sell a little bit more if you ask me. And so, what I would say, guys, is if, I don't know, I don't think we're going to get any more news that Sailor's selling this week. I think that only comes out like once every week. And so, what I will say is hopefully that was pretty much it for the Bitcoin selling. Maybe Bitcoin does something like this where we see it hang around these levels, maybe get a bounce, and then midweek put in another drive towards these lows, end the end of the week around there, and then starting next week, maybe there's new Sailor sold a bigger chunk of Bitcoin. That's when we get that golden pocket dive, and then hopefully we see something like that. I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of this demand line at this point. And then if we get something like this, that would be make me a lot more comfortable in calling a bottom. All right, guys. So that's my thoughts on Bitcoin going forward. The other thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about is I think with everything going on with the crypto as a whole at this point in time, whether it comes to, lack of privacy, a lot more oversight when it comes to crypto transactions, and honestly, the hype that Zcash is getting, especially with their everything that people are looking at it from like a quantum safe perspective. I actually think that a great narrative to be paying attention to right now is privacy coins. And I've got a list of privacy coins that I want to show you guys and get your perspective on, and also just have you aware of them. And so I will show you that. Just a quick word from me and my sponsor first. Hey guys, I just wanted to give you guys a quick plug on a new partnership that I have. So I've got a new partnership with a family at Klein Funding. And so the reason I wanted to partner with a new prop firm is because like you guys see in the videos that I post and such, most of the altcoins that I trade that aren't, some of the majors like Bitcoin, like Solana, like Ethereum, I wanted to have a prop firm that has all of them. And so something like Klein was perfect for that, because Klein has pretty much almost like every single altcoin out there in the space, guys. It's pretty damn fantastic. They have over 500 altcoins. They have gold on their platform. And not only that, but whenever it comes to their different evals and such, they have different options for platforms. So you can trade on the Clio trading app, which I personally do because it's a clean user interface, or on Bybit, whatever you prefer. They have different accounts, 5,000 up to 1,000, up to 100,000, which I'm sure you guys have seen before / are used to. You can change the reward split so that if you guys want to have a bigger amount of profits, obviously it'll be a little bit more upfront charge-wise. 90% on a 100K account. A profit split will cost $890. A 70% profit split costs only $810 upfront. So that's kind of just up to you. But it's pretty nice, guys. They have pretty lenient max drawdowns. You can even update the max drawdowns to fit your criteria. Obviously, that just changes the price up front, similar to the reward split. And the best part, guys, is the discount. So let me go through it real quick. Say we want to trade a $25,000 account. We'll do a 90% reward split. We'll give ourselves the best max drawdown, 8%, a better wiggle room. It says it's $300, right? We'll click that. And here's the thing. I know you guys are used to these 2% discount codes with like other prop firms. No 2% discount code anymore, guys. Use code TraderNeil. That's it, TraderNeil at checkout. Hit the arrow button here. Discount applied. Boom. Down from that previous price, down to $187. This discount code is 15%, guys. That's pretty damn nice. And so no 2% discount codes anymore, guys. We got a 15% discount code, Trader Neil. New prop firm, pretty much has every single crypto altcoin out there. Great UI. I am so far really liking it. I've gotten great feedback from my students as well, and I'm sure you guys will really like this. So if you guys have any questions about Klein, anything like that, put in the comment section below. I'll get you answered. And in the meantime, thanks for listening to me and my new partnership here at Klein Funding. I'm really excited. All right, guys, back to the video. So this is my list of privacy coins, guys, starting with Zcash. I think most of these coins are ones you should be paying attention to. If you ask me the ones that are the most important, I will tell you right now. The ones that are the most important intertwine both the privacy aspect of crypto as well as the quantum resistance perspective. So I know you guys have probably heard that people are worried that Bitcoin is going to get hacked by a quantum computer and people's private addresses will lead them to getting their Bitcoin hacked. Well, some coins and protocols have implemented some quantum safeguards as well. And a couple of those that I think are the most important right now are Zcash Near Protocol here. And the other one that I am interested in that I think is a sleeper that is more so on the newer side of things is Aztec here. And so from like a price perspective, as you guys can see, Zcash has definitely been one of the big beneficiaries of the whole privacy quantum narrative. It has run up extremely hard starting in September of 2025, got an 1100% move. Overall, had a beautiful pullback here into a higher low, 223% up from there. Pretty much happened right at this golden pocket support zone on that first bounce, came down, pretty good retest of previous value here. And now what we're seeing overall, in my opinion, is I wouldn't consider this a double top as of now, but I do think Zcash is another sleeper for the next cycle. Overall, guys, I wouldn't be buying Zcash spot here if you ask me, but what I will tell you is if Zcash loses this value area high level, I would start to get interested in this coin again. I'm going to get rid of this demand line, honestly. Don't want to have that here. I would be looking at Zcash if by chance this thing came down to retest these previous highs from April, something like that. I would be very much interested in picking up some more Zcash at that point. That lines up pretty well with this local golden pocket too. So around 395 is where I'd be looking. Near is one that I hold near and dear to my heart. I'm just kidding. I have no emotional ties to any of these coins. I think you really should not have emotional ties to coins, FYI, guys. I guess it's fine to have some to Bitcoin because I do think Bitcoin is the one that is going to be stuck around the longest. But honestly, probably not a good idea to do so. But tangent aside, I think Near looks really good. Obviously, it's pretty overbought here on the daily, but this thing is just trucking along to the upside even while Bitcoin essentially dies here. Of course, Near getting rejected by this local supply line here. But overall, guys, like I do think Near is the type of coin that on a higher time frame perspective, this one would not surprise me to end up pulling like a pretty nice move to the upside over time. I think what I will tell you guys is if you get any sort of pullback on Near into, I don't know, maybe like 1.93, something like this, to a move up to $5 over time, it really would not surprise me. Do I think you get a pullback that deep? I don't know. I don't know personally, but at the same time, do I think a move down to there it would be a place where I'd be buying? Yes, I'd be looking to buy some Near around there, and I would be aiming for about $5 to be my next area. XMR is another classic privacy coin, guys. This thing just steadily has gone up over time. I will say, like, XMR is definitely like a tried and true type of privacy coin out there. Do I like it more than Zcash? No, I do not like it more than Zcash. But what I will say is, do I think overall, in terms of coins out there, do I still like it? Way better than most crypto altcoins. But at the same time, I'm personally put most of my focus on Zcash and Near. I just wanted to keep you guys aware of XMR, of course, but this is one that has been around a while. And finally, even though I have this whole list of coins you guys could be paying attention to, I really think that out of everything besides the ones I've already talked about, this coin Aztec is the one to be paying attention to. This one is one of the newer coins out there. It is a privacy coin, and it is built on on Ethereum actually. And so having one of the L2s on Ethereum be based off of privacy, I actually think is a great idea. And overall, I really like the way this chart is looking. No nasty previous year-long downtrends to be dealing with on this thing. And overall, I love the way this thing is just kind of just sticking to be range bound here. This is a sleeper hit for me, and so honestly, this is the one that if anything, I wanted to share this one with you guys the most, because I'm sure that most of you guys out there probably have not heard of this one. So this is the one that I've got my eyes on the most, from a buy around these levels perspective. In fact, I am a holder of this already, just FYI. But I would be interested in picking up some more, especially if it came down anywhere to the bottom side of this range again, between like 1.9 and 1.83. All right, guys. So we talked about Bitcoin and talked about privacy coins. Like I said, do I think Sailor selling is the end of the world? No. But at the same time, should we be paying attention and seeing if he does sell a bigger chunk, what happens to BTC price action? I think we need to be paying attention to that. I think Bitcoin could get a continued move to the downside, especially if Sailor sells another big chunk of Bitcoin. And so we're just going to have to keep an eye on that. And in my opinion, I would definitely be prepared for that very, very, in my opinion, likely possibility. All right. Appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you guys so much for hanging around and checking out this video. This is Trader Neil signing out. I'll catch you guys for another video very soon. Peace.